How you doing, bro?
What's good? What's good, people? What's good, man?
How's things, Actual?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm happy to finally speak to y'all, man. I'm just now man, it's been a long night in the studio, so I ain't want to look tired on camera, and it's really sunny out here in Florida, so excuse me.
Oh, I wish you could swap the weather back here in England. It's been raining all.
Oh man. Yes, but the rain is good, man. You need it to survive, so it's all good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, let's jump straight into it. So, what's your background in music? How do you become into music?
How'd I come into music? Man, honestly, bro, it started off, I would say, when I was young, man, probably like teenager. I started off as a DJ. A lot of people don't know that, man. So
Ah,
I started off in Atlanta as a DJ first. Me and my older brother used to, listen to the radio and record it on the CDs and make mixtapes and all that. So I kind of started with that first back, when I was in high school, man. You know what I'm saying? And then just kind of went from there.
oh, for sure. What's your earliest memory of when you wrote a song?
Man, honestly, bro, the first song I probably ever wrote, it never came out, man. But it was just something that I had jotted down, man, back in the day in high school. I went
Sure.
I went to a high school called Stevenson, man, and it was like a really big high school in Atlanta. So we had a lot of stars that went to my high school. Lloyd from Murder Inc. went to my high school. You had Trillville, used to work with Lil Jon and Lil Scrappy. They went to my high school. So first time I ever probably wrote a rap down was probably at the lunch table or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Cool.
been going on, been writing raps and been messing around with it for a minute. So
Sure. Sure. You just mentioned the names there, like was it Lil Jon? Did you say?
yeah, well his group Trillville, you know what I'm saying? They was from my neighborhood, the east side, you know what I'm saying, Zone 6 Atlanta,
Yeah.
Stone
Okay.
Mountain. Oh yeah, man, that's all my neighborhood. Little John
Wow.
High Boys, that's all East Atlanta.
Course, course. See, the Atlanta is very rich in hip hop.
Very much so, man. Very much so, man. Especially this new culture with the 808s and all that stuff. That really started in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, sure. So, how did you progress from writing raps at the dinner table to actually? I believe you started the DJing around Atlanta.
Yeah, first it was DJing, and then man, it just kind of went into us kind of doing freestyles and stuff like that, and then really, it went from DJing to production and songwriting. So it
Mhm.
wasn't until I got into the songwriting aspect of it that it really ended up turning into me really starting to record my vocals on songs. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say probably from the years of 2003 all the way to about 2008, it took me to really make that transition from being a DJ to a songwriter, you know?
For sure. See, back then there was kind of no social media. I'm guessing. How did you promote yourself?
Nah, man, I was a teenager, so it was like, man, I had to go to all the studios in Atlanta. There was a lot of clubs in Atlanta too at that
Mhm.
time. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, you had all the strip clubs too. So, I was sneaking into places like Magic City, 17 years old, passing these, man. I was going to places like the Atrium right after Lil Jon finished, doing his set, and Swiss Beats doing his set. I would come around and, try
Sure.
to bump shoulders with other people in the industry like that, man. And it's really just networking around the studios and all the clubs in Atlanta because there's so many of them.
For
You know,
sure.
you could have your whole week filled up with just running around trying to network and stuff like that, man. It's crazy. It ain't the
Wow.
same now, but back then it was bigger because the social media wasn't around, so it was all hand to hand and all handshakes and hugs, man. That's it.
Of course. So how important is networking in the industry?
Man, that's very important. You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep it real with you, that's the main thing that I think a lot of artists don't understand nowadays, man. Everybody kind of gets the big head once they get a song, and they kind of forget that at the end of the day, you gotta network with other artists because you're just one artist out of all these other people that have different talents and different fan bases. So you might have a fan base in one area, and next man or woman might have a fan base in another area. So if you could tap into their fan base, it only makes yours bigger. So that's the most important thing in this business is networking with the right people. Sure.
Is it like expanding your network to different places, like you just said?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big world, especially with technology. You know, everything we got is in these phones. So end of the day, as long as you got this and you able to network with the right people, there's really no excuse, especially now. Like back in the day, it was harder because, like I said, you only had, you know, hand-to-hand transactions, clubs, and studios, excuse me. So now we got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms, TikTok. There's no excuse now. You just got to make sure that you're not sitting in the house. You got to get out, man. Corona or not.
Good, really good advice.
Yeah.
Really good. So taking it back to early on your career, who inspired you in musically? Who inspired you to get into the studio to write the raps?
Honestly, well, the first inspiration probably would be my parents, because my mom and my pops, they do jazz. So they started off in Philly. You know, I was born in Philly. I didn't move to Atlanta. We didn't move to Atlanta till 95. I was 10 years old. But before that, I was soaking up a lot of jazz. I never got into jazz, but that was kind of the first thing. And then as far as, you know, the hip hop culture goes, man, I would say, you know, really just the greats, man, the GOATs, you know, Pac, Jay-Z, Nas, you know, the greatest, man, Marvin Gaye, man. I listen to a lot of Marvin. You know, the Dream from Atlanta. He's a big, you know, influence on me.
Sure.
You know, for him writing hits for Beyonce and doing his own thing in the R&B world. So, man, just really the GOATs, man. You know what I'm saying? Even some of the new GOATs like Lil Baby. You know, those are always inspiration for me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But yeah, man. Yeah, the earlier the better. Marvin Gaye, Sade, like I grew up on real music, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think people can hear it, because that's where I come from. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, most definitely. See, I've spoke to a few artists like yourself, and they've all said the true legends, the true GOATs, you know, back from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, you know, up until, you know, like you just said, like Lil Baby and, you know, artists. So, you know, it's nice to hear that, you know, the real GOATs are coming, influencing the people like yourselves who influence new artists coming through.
It's no generational gaps no more, man. We all gotta come together. You know,
absolutely.
Timeless, you know, music is really what we gotta make, because music is supposed to be timeless. And so, you know, at the end of the day, man, yeah, bro, we just gotta constantly, you know, tilt our hats off to the GOATs, man, and always learn from them, bro. Because, you know, the fact that, you know, a lot of the music that's coming out today, a lot of it's sampling the old music that was already out. If you listen to it, a lot of the hits, even WAP is nothing but a remake of some old booty shaking music from back in the 90s. So these kids listening to WAP, not knowing that's Uncle Luke and all them dudes, you know, I don't know exactly who it was, but, you know, this was all old samples. So, you know, it's nothing new under the sun at all. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Speaking of rap in 2020, who's your favorite artist of today's hip hop?
Today's hip hop?
Yeah,
honestly, man, that boy Lil Baby, you know, like I said, man, he really speaks to me being from Atlanta, you know, and just seeing his progression and seeing how he went from, you know, not really knowing what he was doing to now becoming a CEO and a label owner. It just shows, man, that, you know what I'm saying, the youth, we gotta continue to support the youth, man, and these youngsters coming up, because they're the ones that's gonna keep the movement going and keep the culture going. So, you know, Lil Durk, Travis Scott is dope. Man, it's a lot of Sada Baby. It's a lot of dope artists that are different and crazy, but I say Lil Baby is probably my favorite right now. So.
Sure. How do you feel about him losing to Megan Thee Stallion?
You said what's that about Megan?
How do you feel about losing to Megan Thee Stallion yesterday?
What happened? You talking about Tory Lanez?
No, Lil Baby.
Oh, what happened with them? I didn't even see that.
He was up for, was he best artist of the year, I think.
Oh, he lost to Megan.
Uh huh.
Oh, okay. See, man, I'll be on my own grind, man.
Okay.
Oh, it is what it is, man. Megan put in some work. Megan put in a lot of work, and at the end of the day, man, you know, she's got a huge fan base from male and female, and she's not a whack rapper. She knows how to put together lyrics and bars. So at the end of the day, man, you know, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Lil Baby definitely has more substance to his music, but
Sure.
sometimes, you know, especially right now, some people just want to feel good. So maybe that's why she might have had to level up on him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. There's always a bit of controversy in hip hop, I suppose.
Yeah, man. You never know, man. Everybody got opinions, so can't be.
Of course.
Shout out to her.
For sure. So along with writing and performing, you're a well-established producer. Was that something you wanted to get involved in early on in your career when you was getting into hip hop, or how did that evolve?
Yeah, man. It really, like I said, started off with the DJing, and then it went from DJing to making these tapes, man. And it was just crazy. This was the era right when the mixtapes were online. So you got that Piff live tapes. I don't know if everybody, you know, some people might be too young to know, but you know, most people
very well.
after stuff like that. So, you know, at the time, man, it was really crazy because there was really no way to get your music heard, like I said. And then once they switched over to the streaming services and stuff like that, I saw, hey, man, this is a good opportunity for me to try to get into this, you know what I'm saying? And I just started really pushing my tracks to all the artists I knew in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like being in the studio with Jeezy, I learned a lot. Being in the studio with the Outlaws, I learned a lot.
Sure.
So many studio sessions with so many great artists, even if I didn't work on it particularly. Like, I done been in the studio with Kanye. A lot of people, that's just one to name, but being in studios and see these guys work from scratch, it just showed me, like, man, it doesn't matter, like, where you come from, man. If you got something different to offer in this game, people are going to hear that and recognize that. So as soon as I heard people telling me, like, man, like, you got a different sound, like, actually, you got that heat, like.
Sure.
Other people telling me that, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna push that, you know. But it wasn't until other people really started offering to pay me for my beats. Man, I got 500. Man, I got a rack for you. I said, hey, man, I'm not gonna turn it down. If, you know, this is a way for me to make a living doing what I love, and that's what really got me into the production part of it. First, man, was just loving the music, man. I wasn't even trying to get no money off of it. It just kind of, you know what I'm saying? I was
sure. Just expanding on something what you just said there. You mentioned Kanye. What did you learn about off Kanye? You know, being around Kanye, maybe in the studio.
Yeah, man, Kanye's dope, man. I think a lot of people just look at the media. They never met him. Don't know nothing. This was probably like right when he had dropped the I think it was the song with T-Pain, Good Life. I was in the studio and just learning about mixing, man, how, you know, sometimes you might have a sound that might need to be turned up, or you might have a vocal that might be too low or too loud. So he's a perfectionist, and I learned with Kanye that it doesn't matter how long it takes. It needs to be right. That's what I learned from Kanye, because, I mean, this man was mixing that song 5, 6, 7 times over and over and over again until he got it right. And everybody in the studio, their opinion, he asked me my opinion. I told him my opinion, you know. So, but I just saw that he was so humble, being in the position he's in. He's still a perfectionist, and he still wanted to be right, no matter how much money he's making. And I think that that's really, you know, I gotta give it to him, man. He really is about the music, no matter how crazy he may get sometimes. He really, for real.
Wow. What an experience for yourself as well, being a young artist back then, when, you know, you've carried that on throughout your career.
Thanks, man. Blessing, bro. You know, blessing to be able to rub shoulders with some of the goats, man.
Sure. For sure. I was actually listening to your album a few weeks ago, and I come across the song called Memories, where you actually get, you know, you paid your respect to the greatest not just greatest of all time with music artists, but like the likes of Martin Luther King, and I think a few others were mentioned. Tupac was mentioned.
Dope, man. I appreciate you, checking that out, man, because that's a slept on track.
Sure,
Talk that Mash 2, man. If y'all ain't got that Mash 2 album, go get that, man. Yeah,
definitely,
memory
definitely
real track, man. That track right there was just me really paying homage to the people we lost, man. And I feel like we forget to pay homage, man. And that was just that one song where I felt like, man, I gotta give my respects to the people that ain't here, man. And just basically let them know that, they still in our hearts at the end of the day, man. Fatal to Martin Luther King to Tupac to Biggie to all the greats, X, everybody that we lost, man, in the struggle, man, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So that's 100.
for sure. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, it's really important for yourself to tell people to kind of remember these icons, these legends.
Facts.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you constantly strived, to work hard. So that constantly striving and working, it put you in a position where you've got noticed by these big artists. How did you become involved with the Outlaws?
Man, it's crazy, man. Shout out to Pac for moving to Atlanta, because if he never moved to Atlanta, I probably would have never met the Outlaws. And, I never met Pac. I'm a young cat, and he was gone long before I met the Outlaws. But it's just showing the timeline of how things transpired. But the first person I met was Idi Amin.
Mm-hmm.
I actually met him because I was working at this little music store at the time, man. It was like a little local music store, man. And at that time, I was only working there like part-time because, I was still trying to get my foot in the game. And
Sure.
I think he came in there with like a beat machine or something that was broken. And I ended up taking it to the back to the repair guy, and he fixed it for him real quick, you know what I'm saying? And I just told him, like, man, look, I'm out here doing my thing, man. At that time, I had already done tracks with Jeezy, and I think I had some songs with like Stat Quo and a few other guys in Atlanta that was doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? But, when I met him, it was like we instantly just clicked, you know what I'm saying? And I handed him, I think it was a CD of maybe like 3 or 4 beats or something like that. Ended up being their single for, I think it was Everything Happens for a Reason. That was the news for the Outlaws. And then once we got in the studio and did that track, shout out to Castro, you know what I'm saying, Stormy, because they was on that song too. So
Sure.
that track, it was pretty much over, man. Just days in and days out of being in the studio in Atlanta, just working. I met Noble, you know what I'm saying, and we just kept on cutting recordings, and to the point to where we had so many, a lot of them just ended up being scattered on different projects, you know what I'm saying, and just going from there, you know what I mean?
Okay, for sure, for sure. What's your favorite track you've been involved with the Outlaws with?
And I have to say that we just dropped, man. You know what I'm saying? That Tape 6 intro, that's my favorite right now, because at the end of the day, that's the realest song that we got right now. Every lyric in that song was off the top of my head, and it was heartfelt, man, about real situations, because people don't know, even though they see, the Outlaws doing well, they might see me doing well. They might see some of these guys, living the lifestyle. They don't know the struggles we go through to get to that point. So I really picture on this song and let people know, man, like, no matter what you're going through, you're going to have to struggle a little bit before you get there. But once you get there, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Talking about Tape 6, tell us more about Tape 6. I mean, you've certainly whet the appetite of your fans. Wow, dropping that the other night when that dropped, I was lit myself. I was very lit. We are watching. So tell us more about Tape 6 and what can we expect?
Tape 6 is all about where I'm from, man. It's about Zone 6 Atlanta, man. That's the east side, Stone Mountain, Decatur. That's where I met the Outlaws. That's where we set it off. That's where I became a man. That's why I learned everything in the trap. That's why I learned everything from these hoes to getting this money to being a businessman, an entrepreneur. So
Sure.
Really, I wasn't going to have no features on it because I wanted to let people know more about me. But I don't even really consider the Outlaws a feature. That's like family to me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, this tape is really just about my story, man. And it's about me making the transition from growing up in East Atlanta to traveling the world. And
Wow.
for that, no matter what hood you come from or what gutter you come from, you can make it out if you continue to have faith, man. It's nothing greater than you and your faith, man. If you don't have faith in yourself and God, you're not gonna make it at all. So that's what this tape is about, man. Tape 6, Zone 6, and also the number 6 is relevant because this is my 6th full-length studio recording. So
Okay.
that's the other thing about it, you know what I mean? And also I spent a lot of time in Toronto, which they call the 6th. You know, that's like my second home. You feel me?
Sure.
There's something about that number that just became prominent. Like, this is tape 6 right here. This is what it's all about: progression, growth, and faith right here. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you tied the number into the album title.
Yeah, and this ain't no 666 devil shit either. You can get that up out of here. This is the number 6 completion. Like, I got 5 albums before this. This the number 6 one. So if y'all don't see the progression from my first project to this one, you feel me? Straight up.
Absolutely. We had Stormy Coleman on the show a few weeks back, and he told me something about Edie and Noble. They all seem to have certain different styles of writing when they're in the studio. With you being in the studio with them 2 guys, can you give us some kind of insight of how you've seen them writing in the studio?
Well, I'll tell you one thing: working with the Outlaws and working with every single one of these guys, they pretty much like the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? So they taught me, like, and I'm sure they probably learned this from Pac, but they taught me how to get in the studio, get in, knock that shit out, and go. So at the end of the day, man, you know, seeing them work it really just influenced me to just level up when I'm in the studio. You know what I mean? And also, they don't sit down and think about it too much. You know, a lot of artists, they sit in the studio and overthink what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, man, it's all about expressing your feelings on the track so people can relate. And that's what I learned about being in the studio with the Outlaws. You just got to put down what's on your heart and on your mind, and it's going to be true to the people, regardless of what it is. And half the time, these guys don't even write. They just go in the booth and just spit it. And that's how I learned. All the songs you heard in the past 3-4 years, I didn't write not one of them. All of them was off the top of my head. So, you know what I'm saying? Raw emotion, and that's what sells. That's what people.
Wow. For sure. Thanks for giving that insight. You've been in the studio with the Outlaws, and you've with that mindset in the studio. Did they take that onto the music video set as well?
Oh yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's greatness all around, man. Anytime we get up to do a music video, you know, it's organized. You feel me, man? We got everything set up from the location to the time to the wardrobe.
Sure.
And that's why they still continue to be successful. No matter what people say, it's all about being on your A game, man. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to go to work late, but when you get into business, people want to show up to video shoots late and all that. You'll never be successful that way. So I learned a lot being on time and being professional and making sure you stay on your A game at all times, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Good advice for young artists as well coming through. So what do you think about today's hip hop? The state of today's hip hop?
And I feel like it's all good, really. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like the hip hop that's coming out right now is gonna be the hip hop that influences the hip hop that's coming out 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You gotta take the good with the bad, just like a lot of people was, hating on certain types of music in the 90s that might have been commercial.
Sure.
People hate on some of the music that's coming out now that might not be so, it might be ratchet or whatever, but everybody has a different view on life. So I feel like the music game is great, especially for business wise, because like I said, you got technology, man. You got the internet. You got these phones.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't like something, just skip it. It's not like you got to listen to the radio anymore. So it's plenty of dope artists, plenty of dope music out there. You just got to find it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So you've dropped the intro a few days ago.
Yeah.
Are you dropping more visuals for tape 6?
Oh yeah, man. Really, my plan was it's crazy because people don't know my plan with the first MASH album that I put out and the second MASH album. I really had planned to do a video for every single song.
Oh wow!
But you know, when you're shooting videos, there's always things you got to factor in, like weather and there's other casting and wardrobes and locations and stuff like that. So sometimes it doesn't work out. But yeah, man, I definitely I'm trying my best this time for this tape to shoot a visual for every single song. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow!
And we've already put out, I think, 5 or 6 videos already. So you know what I'm saying? So definitely
Sure.
we're gonna keep rolling with it.
Yeah, that would be dope if you could put out a video for every single song. That would be real dope. That.
Yeah, because
sure.
I feel like, you know, that's kind of what's missing, bro. Like people want to see, they don't want to just listen anymore. It's 2020, so man, you know, it's cool to listen to me, but you know, hey man, you got to see this. You got to see this young face sometimes, man.
Definitely. For sure. And let me touch on something you just said. You've got to see the face. I'm out here in the UK, and I've been listening to your music for a good few years, and take it from me, I'm probably number one fan.
Everybody, hey man, shout out to the UK for sure, man. Y'all been supporting me for so long, and I ain't even been out there yet, and I definitely am upset. Fuck COVID, because I definitely planned on being out there.
Oh, no doubt.
Gonna get there either way, for sure.
No doubt. We look forward to that for sure. I mean, talking about COVID, what do you feel, and other affairs like the racism which is going around the world, you know, all the different issues which is going on in 2020? Do you think it's the responsibility of hip hop artists to speak on these things, or do you think it's better left?
Man, honestly, man, I tell people don't never mix entertainment with politics or social issues.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna have some artists that's gonna speak on it, and you're gonna have some artists that don't, and you can't be mad if they don't, because you don't know where these artists are from or how they were raised or any of that. Every artist isn't real, and every artist ain't worried about racist issues, you know.
Sure.
Even if they say it, a lot of these artists are just doing it for clout or to get it, you know. So now I don't think we should look for entertainers to solve any of these issues. I think we need to look at the people that's in the community that's really out here doing the footwork and shaking hands and really out here fighting police brutality and really out here active, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that's out here that's active that people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? Even Young Noble, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing him passing out food in Atlanta, like even me, like I done been in Florida now for 3 months, man. Anytime I see it's so many homeless people, man. It's crazy. Like, you gotta understand, if you got food, clothing, and shelter, you're blessed. Period. And
for sure.
So many homeless people since I've been down here in Florida, man. I'm like, I can't feed everybody, but I try my best to do that because that's what counts. It ain't really for us to do it for any type of cool points, man. We just gotta just do it, and that's it, man. It ain't entertainment. This is real life going on out here.
Definitely. I mean, I live in
that. It's real life. Now, when it comes to this music, yeah, whatever, you know.
Sure. Hey, so just before we wrap it up, what's next for Actual? I mean, you said you was before the COVID. You said you was going to try to get out, you know, over to maybe to the UK or you know on the road.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. Not to just to go back a little bit before COVID. It's crazy because I did my first show with Snoop Dogg, sold out in Toronto.
Sure.
Actually, no, it was in Sudbury in Canada, man. Shout out to Northern Canada, man, Sudbury. We did a out show. Shout out to the Butcher, Peter Jackson, man. We had a 5,000 people in the arena, sold out, man. This is right before COVID, man. I opened up for Snoop Dogg. Shout out to Doggy Style. So we had a tour planned up, man, for the US, Canada, and the UK. So, man, as soon as this whole thing is over, man, y'all definitely gonna see me on the road with a lot a lot of the GOATs. Y'all gonna see me on the road moving around with a lot of new young artists. I actually do have a show in Atlanta. So I'm still doing shows, but as far as overseas, man, we just waiting on this to clear up. And I'm
Sure.
definitely coming to a city near you ASAP for sure.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. We're going to look forward to that over here in the UK. Actually, you mentioned Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was, I was meant to see Snoop Dogg earlier this year, and obviously with the COVID, it was pushed back, and then it was pushed back again. Now it's in September of next year, so whether we're going to see that is it's a nightmare.
So imagine if it wasn't going on, I'd probably be in the UK right now, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I did a video with Link Up TV. Shout out to Mox and Downside. We just did a video. You know, you can check it out. It's called Been a Minute. So, man, the UK definitely, y'all gonna see me real soon, man. As soon as this BS clear up, you already know the business.
No doubt, no doubt. We'll look forward to that, Actual. What's your socials? So everyone knows how to get hold of you and see the new visuals.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all go on YouTube right now and subscribe, man. You already know how to spell the name. It's with a K, Aktual. And then on Instagram and Facebook, it's Actual, the number forever. So y'all just make sure y'all follow me, subscribe. And, you know, we got a whole lot more fire dropping. I got a whole lot, you know, new merch coming out, man. Shout out to Camera God, man. You see what it is with the Camera God merch. We repping that real heavy, black on.
Looking fly. Looking real fly, bro.
Yeah, so, you know, y'all got to support Camera God. And
sure.
On dropping fire, man. Tape 6 coming out ASAP. And make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm uploading a video every week, man. So let's get it.
Sure. What we'll do is we'll upload the links. We'll put the links in the description on the YouTube and get your fans over there.
And shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Heart of an Outlaw Show. Shout out to O4L, man. Shout out to all the fans out there watching. And this interview finna be on YouTube, so you know I just want everybody to know, man. Look, if y'all don't see me for a while, just know I got heat coming. Anytime you don't see me for a while, just know I got more heat coming. That's it.